All right, college football kicking off the infamous bowl games. There are a lot of them, but a lot of big perks attached to them. The former NFL player, Jack Brewer, on the big money behind these big games. Jack, good to have you.
Great to be back.
It seems like there are a ton more bowl games than just maybe 10 years ago, but can you update me? What happened here?
I mean, the brands. I mean, you have everything from the Cheez-It Bowl, you have the Bahamas Bowl, you name it. These brands are getting behind these bowl games because I think, it's just a great opportunity for them to be able to market themselves. It's unique, and a lot of the folks want to come out and see sports, but the numbers have continued to go up. Across the board this year between the bowl games and the BCS, there's going to be over $700 million paid out to these schools and conferences. So the numbers are really getting big.
You always hear about the concentration of the money in the bigger schools that tend to repeat in these bowl appearances, and that it's unfair to smaller schools or those that are odd men out. What do you think?
That's true, but at the same time, I'm a capitalist and this is America, so if you can demand and you bring in the fan base and you can bring in the sponsor dollars, you probably should get a little bit more. Just in about 10 minutes, the Bahamas Bowl will kick off, and that payouts $225,000. And then you look at the BCS, where the top 5 conferences all get $66 million apiece. From day one, no matter if they win, lose, or draw. So there is a big discrepancy in college football. And then you start thinking about, what happens with the players. Will they ever actually see any of the money? And so you really start to understand why there's such a big debate now on why college athletes should get paid.
I mean, now we're kind of changing our approach to how we treat college players. It's still in its infancy here, but do they get to share in the loot here?
Not as much as I think they should. Obviously, education is a valuable thing, but I think when you're using some of these bigger schools with the big brands and these elite players, they should get a little bit more money. And what's happening now, ironically, Neil, is some of the big bowl games are losing some of their elite players. They're not showing up. They're going to the NFL draft. They're declaring for the draft early, so they don't want to take a risk on getting hurt for something that doesn't compensate them.
I can understand
it's pushback.
Jack, just a dumb question on my part, but I'm curious, with the acceleration of sports betting and all the like, has that changed this picture for betting on these bowl games and all the rest?
It's just brought more money in. I think more eyeballs. I think when you talk about betting and you look at fantasy, which I consider both, betting, I think you're going to see a lot more come about once the NCAA changes these rules. I think you'll see a big emergence in college football, fantasy football, which will equate to more betting opportunities and gambling there. So I think that's an opportunity for the players to actually start getting some of the compensation once they change the likeness rules.
All right. Jack, thanks. Very good learning from you. And I do learn a lot when you spell this out for me, because at first I thought we were talking cereal bowls and I was confused. The staff had to tell me what was going on. Jack Brewer, the former NFL great, Jack Brewer, Foundation CEO. He has given a lot back to the sport and the industry he greatly loves. More after this.